Two W entries back to back from Star Wars? Impossible.
What are you waiting for? Hop on.
Hi, I'm Ekton. Today I review the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And yes, I like this movie a lot. Not as much as Darth Maul Shadow Lord, but still way more than I expected. Let me start by saying that from the start I noticed the movie budget. You can't by any means compare this movie to an average Mandalorian episode. FYI, not gonna spoil the plot of the movie, but I will talk about characters and creatures that are in the movie. I like the Mandalorian TV show, but I've often noticed the limited budget, be it cause of the limited amount of stormtroopers they would use for some fighting scenes, simple looking sets, or scarce use of CGI. Don't misunderstand me, the Mandalorian TV show looks good, but you can sometimes feel its limits. So let me tell you that the Mandalorian Grogu feature really feels like a movie and not like an extended TV show episode. You see way more CGI creatures, droids, and extravagant set pieces than in the entire season of the Mandalorian. I felt truly blown away by what I saw, especially by that giant aquatic creature they spoiled in the trailer. Don't think they could have pulled that creature in the Mandalorian show. Anyways, do you need to have watched the Mandalorian TV show to be able to enjoy this movie? Surprisingly? No. I mean, it would help to have watched the show, of course, but the movie gives you all the information you need to know. Mando is a bounty hunter and Grogu's father figure, and Grogu is his Force-sensitive son. You learn that information during the first 5 minutes of the movie. The movie doesn't even reference anything that happened in the TV show. And anything lore-wise, like Grogu's species aging way slower than humans or Mando feeling shame when being seen without his helmet, they load up on you naturally while the plot progresses. What is the movie actually about? Even though you see Mando and Grogu doing bounty hunter stuff, the movie is really about the relationship between father and son. And Mando's and Grogu's relationship constantly gets compared to the situation of Rata the Hutt being Jabba the Hutt's son. Remember Rata from the 2008 Clone Wars movie? This is him now, and he ripped. He is also the third most important character of the movie, and the entire plot of the movie is tied to him. Yeah, he's no simple member berry cameo like the trailer would suggest. I liked him, especially his interactions with Grogu. In general, I think, to be able to like this movie, you have to, like Rota, love Grogu aka Baby Yoda, cause he is probably the most important selling point this movie relies on. There's even a frequency of roughly 10 minutes, almost exclusively with him. If you're not into Baby Yoda or even dislike him somehow, you might have a very hard time watching this movie. But to me, Baby Yoda's adorable, so I loved every second of him on screen. Also, most of the jokes involved Baby Yoda, and a lot of them made me laugh out loud. Especially the ones where they paired Baby Yoda up with that crime matter type alien that they introduced in the sequel movies. I love those little teddy bear side aliens. They even gave them their own tiny cute spaceship in this movie. Even though the Mandalorian Grogu is a space adventure type movie at its core, it is also purposefully funny. And the jokes working on you, again, depends on if you like Grogu aka Baby Yoda. Honestly, in the unlikely case that you despise Baby Yoda, first, what's wrong with you? Second, don't watch this movie cause you will have a very bad time. Anyway, the best character dynamic in this movie is of course the one between Mando and Grogu. They are still cute together like in the show. They don't develop the relationship any further, but they made you appreciate it more by comparing it to Rota and Jabba. In one way, this is a Mando and Grogu appreciation movie. Anyway, any positive surprises? Actually, yes. Besides Rota being a lot more in the movie, I was surprised to see how much screen time Zed from Star Wars Rebels had in the movie. They really upped their CGI budget, cause in the movie Mando and Baby Yoda interact way more with CGI created characters than they do in the show. That reminds me, a character who I didn't even know would be in the movie is the bounty hunter Embo from Clone Wars. Oh my god, I'm a giant Star Wars The Clone Wars fan and got so excited to finally see him on the big screen. He is my favorite bounty hunter of all of Star Wars, and I'm happy to announce that they did him way more justice than they did Cat Bane in the Boba Fett series. It helped that they used CGI instead of practical effects for Embo. They even let him use his dog alien from the show while hunting bounty. Yay! To me his portrayal was almost perfect. Only critique I got is that I would have loved to see him more during the daylight. He has such a cool design with his head and all, and in the dark sometimes I wasn't able to appreciate this as much as in the Clone Wars show. Another thing that resurfaced from the Clone Wars era was repurposed battle droids. One of the reasons I like the prequel movies the most is the battle droids, and this movie is packed with them, so that made my inner child happy as well. Finally, the plot is not too complex, but it has sufficient turns and twists that you can appreciate it as an adult. Hell, some of them I didn't even see coming, so I think people of all ages will be able to like this movie. Only once during the 10-minute Baby Yoda sequence, the plot felt a bit too convenient, but I can excuse it cause Baby Yoda saving the day on its own without help might have been more jarring. Plus I like the subtle message that came with it. Only cause somebody looks scary doesn't mean he isn't a good person. Were there any negatives? Personally, I can only recall two. Firstly, Dave Filoni, the guy who's in control of Star Wars currently, put him himself as a cameo in the movie, and it was way too in your face. The guy wants you to know he's in it cause they even did a close-up shot of him, and if you don't know who he is, that close-up shot must have felt very odd to you. Secondly, there's an aquatic creature they keep using multiple times and I don't like its design. It looked disgusting to me. I know it might have been the point, but still.
Disgusting.
In conclusion, I can only recommend that you guys watch this movie in cinemas. Haven't had that much fun with the Star Wars movie in cinemas since Rogue One. Mandalorian and Grogu is no masterpiece, but it's still a solid 8 out of 10 movie. Can't believe it has been 7 years since we last had the Star Wars movie in cinemas. I know the sequel movies were mid at best, but it always felt great seeing Star Wars movies on the big screen. Star Wars is probably one of my top 5 favorite movie franchises, and only seeing TV shows come out of it for years kinda hurt my soul. I like myself my Mandalorian, Andor, Clone Wars and Darth Maul Shadow a lot, but Star Wars deserves to be on the big screen. I just hope Mandalorian and Grogu does well so we can have Star Wars regularly in cinemas again. I know Star Wars makes it hard to love it sometimes, but it would still be sad to see the franchise die and to succumb to streaming junk.